Hello everyone, welcome to a new game. This is the Shapeshifting Detective. It's made by the same studio behind the infectious madness of Dr. Decker, and I absolutely love that game. So I'm guessing that we play as a detective that can transform themselves into different characters or different things. That's what that's what I think will happen. I'm guessing maybe a murder mystery of some sort. I have a notebook with me and a bunch of pens. Try and help me. I don't know, deduce or make decisions and whatnot. So yeah, without further ado, new game. Oh shit, sorry, new game. I'm playing this completely blind.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
So they're already talking about a murder happening at night.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
Okay. Actually, that is true. Point taken. Sam.
Exactly. Rewind.
What? What the hell? What?
You're listening to Radio August.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
What the hell?
Exactly. Rewind.
What? Do I just not know how to select? Well...
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
Okay, buddy. Listen, man. I watched the intro, like, I don't know, a bunch of times. So the murder happened last night. The victim is a 20-year-old woman. The name I got was Dorota Shaw. I might be getting this completely butchered. And the act was violent and despicable.
You know why you're here, don't you?
Mm-hmm. What if I say no?
The dead girl. And this.
Okay.
What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time? It's a rhetorical question. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now. Understood?
Yeah.
Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated.
Deprecated.
Alright, man.
We
So, like,
expect
fired?
you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpet's priceless. Now, how long are you staying for?
Wait, who are you? Oh my god. I think your name was Violet. And no shoes inside.
That's fine. It's yours for as long as you want it. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in. It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet.
Jesus, okay, hold on. Hold on. Deathly quiet. Excited about crime tourists after the murder. Sorry guys, I'm just taking notes.
Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you?
No.
Chief Dupont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
Oh, what the hell?
Just finishing. You don't believe?
No. Okay, I'm just gonna say I believe, but I don't.
That sounded serious. You must have a serious job to do. Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
Hold on, Bronwyn. Oh my god. Bronwyn. Tarot reader.
Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading.
Sure.
So, what's your question, Sam?
Who did it?
The Fool. I'm going to see a lot more of you, aren't I, Sam? Well, enjoy the journey. But remember, not everything is winnable. I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam? Good. We're neighbors. Just knock if you need me.
My eyes as the concrete rises up to embrace me. There are infinite realities, he said, and we always exist in the one we believe is most true. The roof of the Dreamtime Hotel was littered with Tenzin's white cigarette butts like scattered finger bones. He gave me one long final grin, and I believe I'm immortal. I watched him jump, red and gold robes billowing in the wind, shimmering into nothingness
Well, I'm
long
wondering if
before the
there's a
ground.
hint.
Scent is always the first sense to return. Salt air assaults my nostrils. I arrive to a cacophony of traffic, stood upon the side of the Golden Gate Bridge, the sun sliding into the Pacific. The view is breathtaking, but it's still not home. I climb over the 4-foot fence onto the railings below. Arms wide, I dive.
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. Do you have an inkling what this might be?
So, what I can see here are 3 small metal bells attached to what looks like a square, metal square, and then it kind of looks like the tag you get in the zipper.
Oh, you were right about the metal. It's bronze again.
Bronze again. Okay. The bells are very cute.
Mm-hmm.
They've got small engraving
Yeah,
on them.
what kind of objects normally have bells?
Cowbells.
I did
No?
think of cows.
What else has bells? I want to say a Christmas tree, but I feel like...
A
These are spirit
church.
chimes.
Oh.
Oh wait, but it
These
has to
ones
be
have an
an
inverted
object.
full crown, which gives
Never
a
mind.
ghastly sound. We're not going to reproduce that here now. It's like a bell ringing in reverse. The purpose of most spirit chimes is to keep spirits away, as you might know. However, these ones are to invite spirits in.
Oh.
Unfortunately, they don't work. I mean, I've had them hanging up at the station for a few months now. Unless,
Bells.
Monroe, have you noticed any spirits turning
Bells
up at
are
the station
called
lately?
So does it just
spirits.
invite bad spirits? Or...
Not necessarily bad spirits, just could be good spirits. Yeah, I think I'm going to sell that one. There's no other use for it. Thanks, Monroe. As always, you've been a great sport today. And we'll be back tomorrow. Poe's Curiosity Shop is now closed. You're listening to Radio August, Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
Nightmares by Angela Atkins. Read by Jessa from the Jessa Channel. I didn't know where she came from. I was driving along, playing with the radio, and all of a sudden there's this woman standing in front of my car. Naturally, I slammed on the brakes and attempted to swerve away from her, but I still felt the thump of solid body connecting with my car.
So this
There
woman
simply
ran
was
someone
no
over.
denying that sickening thump. When my car finally skidded to a full stop, I thought my heart would burst from my chest. It was pounding so hard. My hands trembled as I put the car in park, and I just sat there. The hum of the engine and a distorted voice from the now crackling speakers were my only company as I simply sat there. Everything in my head was screaming for me to go, to run. No one saw me. No one knew I even went for a drive. I could just run and, God forgive me, leave her there to be someone else's problem. But
Jesus.
I couldn't do it. I had to
God.
know. I had to know if I had just killed this girl. So I took a deep breath and looked in my rear view mirror. The red glow of my brake lights illuminated the lump lying in the road behind me. A body. There was definitely a body. Run. Everything still screamed at me to flee. The feeling in your gut when you know something awful is going to happen and you need to get the fuck out of Dodge before you get caught up in it was raging in me, but here I was, unfastening my seatbelt and making myself open the car door. The interior lights came on and the annoying ding sounded to remind me that the keys were still in the ignition. I left my door open as I cautiously walked back towards a body that lay unnaturally twisted atop the pavement. I wanted to say I was breathing, but in all honesty, I think I was holding my breath, afraid to get a whiff of death. I was certain that it was a smell that would never let me sleep at night again. My legs felt like jello as I approached. One hand on the side of my car for support, the other outstretched in front of me, as if ready to catch myself when I inevitably passed out. I took a deep breath and lowered myself to the ground. Miss? My voice cracked and I cleared my throat, trying to retain the masculine depth that was currently hiding behind the remnants of puberty as fear swelled within me.
What?
Miss,
How old are you?
are you okay? She lay on her back. Well, mostly on her back. Her legs were twisted onto her side, but her upper body was twisted, with her back flat on the road, face staring up into the sky. I saw her chest rise and fall. She was breathing, short and shallow breaths, but she was breathing. I looked her over. Her face was partially covered in bloody hair. I clasped my hand over hers, reassuring her as she lightly squeezed my hand. I spoke to her. Hang on, I'm going to call for help. Just please, don't die. I tried to stay calm as I pulled my phone from my pocket and dialed. Her hand squeezed mine, just a little tighter, as I began to pull her hair away from her face. Her breath was becoming much more shallow, and her grip weakened. The operator answered after the second ring. Hello? What is your emergency? I hit a woman. It was dark. I didn't see her. I came around the curve and she was just there and I hit her and she's twisted weird and my calm was unraveling. Sir, calm down. I could hear her typing what I was telling her. Where did this happen? I looked down at the girl as her chest stopped rising. Her eyes didn't blink, and
I thought it was
no
another
longer
lady.
gripped my hand. I was gripping hers. I knew she was dead, but I still clung to her hand. Then she was gone.
Ooh.
The blacktop rippled in front of me. It turned into waves that grew into a deeper and richer blue, like satin sheets, like satin bed sheets. In my car, I was driving on. I stopped and blinked a few times as I sat up in my bed, phone clenched tightly in my hand. Sir, where were you driving? What road was the accident on? I hung up. Sweat drenched my pajamas and I was safe at home. My immediate reaction was to get up and run down to the garage to check my car. I was in such a rush that I let down the last 3 stairs and nearly killed myself as I jumped over the family dog sleeping in the kitchen doorway. I opened the door from the kitchen to the garage and flipped on the lights. I fell down in the doorway and cried. My car was there. It was pristine. It was just a nightmare. I was still on the floor, wiping my eyes as I saw the familiar red and blue lights reflecting through my kitchen window. This should be a fun thing to explain. I pulled myself to my feet and headed towards the door, ready to show the officers my car and prove that it wasn't real, just a vivid dream. But my stomach dropped as I opened the door.
It was her?
It had only been moments since I'd made the call. There was no way they made it out to my house that fast. I watched them walk up the driveway and see their mouths moving, but it takes a while to hear what they're saying. Do you understand? Your daughter's been in a fatal accident.
What?
I'm so sorry.
But I
It's
thought you
only
were a
then
kid.
I dropped the phone. I don't hear the metal frame thunk the ground or the glass shards that splinter from the screen because at that moment, that very moment, she's with me again, gripping my hand tightly.
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop.
Wait, he dreamt
Now,
that he ran over his
What
daughter?
could the object I've just handed to you be?
I have never seen anything like this. So, it feels heavy again. And I think, I want to say, it's wooden.
Yes.
and there's a handle, and then it kind of looks like a bell shape.
Yeah.
Like a wooden bell with a large handle.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a non-functional wooden bell.
Yeah, but it's heavy, like really heavy.
Are you
Okay, I'm
repeating?
going to explain. The reason why it's heavy, it's in fact an Egyptian maul, which was used by craftsmen to carve temples. It's approximately 4,500 years old and comes from an ancient burial ground called Saqqara. This particular one has traces of the same limestone as the Great Sphinx of Giza. Well, that's what the man down the pub told me.
That's incredible.
Poe's curiosity shop is now closed.
Now what?
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
Lung. Read by Jessie Cox. She must be early 20s. The white robes barely cover her, soaked in blood. How very traditional, thinks Lung, lighting up another cigarette. Cough. 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 The dais, if you can call it that, is a mossy slab beside Carnby Stream. The clouded sky picks out highlights in the water as it travels past jutting rocks and reeds. It's a calming juxtaposition to the lifeless vessel in front of him. Cough. Cough. Coughing violently and uncontrollably, Lung adds his own blood sample to the victim's. He drops
What?
a barely touched cigarette to the floor and squishes it with his boot heel. Wiping his mouth with a now bloodied sleeve, he reaches into his jacket for something. Another cigarette. Gotta find me a good one, he mumbles. After lighting up, he produces a phone from his jacket and hits a speed dial number. After a few rings, it's answered. Mrs. Hedges. I think I found her. It's not good, I'm afraid. Cough. Cough. Coughing up blood, the girl gurgles out a shriek and raises up from the dais. Although it may be, whispers Lung, before hanging up the phone. He steps backwards wearily, brandishing a revolver at the girl and calls out, Hey, you! And then more worriedly, Who are you? Looking down at her semi-naked, blood-drenched body, the girl sighs and turns her attention to Lung. Did you murder her? Lung squirms a little. Cough. 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 A lot of people wanted Zoe dead. I did them a favor, and I got a meeting with you.
This
The girl
cough thing is
draws her
pissing
robes
me off.
tightly, steps off the dais, and moves slowly towards Lung. And what did you want exactly? Lung steps backwards in rhythm with the girl. I'm dying. I don't want to die. You said you could grant me eternal life. The girl snarls at him. I did. That was before I knew you were a killer. Her pace quickens. Cough. Cough.
Shut up with the
Coughing more
cough.
blood, Lung swipes with his sleeves and stands his ground. That you can go back to hell, or wherever it is you came from. Bang! 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 The bullets whip holes through her chest, and blood arcs ferociously from the wounds. She staggers with each impact, then begins to sprint at Lung. What the fuck? Lung crosses his arms to shield himself as the girl leaps onto him, crashing him backwards onto the grassy floor. Thud. Crunch. His head hits the angled stone with such force his eyes bulge. Blood pools behind him and in his mouth. You're mine now, the girl says, and reaches her hand into his chest, grabbing for something or letting something go. It only takes a second. A transfer of energy takes place that can only truly be visualized by travelers from a faraway dimension. Lung's eyes roll into the back of his skull. He stops moving. The stream flows smoothly in the distance. The girl reaches for something in Lung's jacket. The phone. She hits speed dial. Mom? It's Zoe. I know. It was the detective you hired. He tried to kill me. I know. As fast as I can. I love you too. Okay. Bye. She puts the phone back, and her hand stops. Shaking. It moves as if it has a mind of its own. She tries to resist the movement, but it's too strong. It darts into the jacket, pulls out a cigarette. She sighs as she lets it put the cigarette to her lips. and lights it. Cough. Cough.
Stop with the
Coughing like it's her
coughing.
first smoke. She looks down pitifully at Lung and shrugs. Gotta find me a good one.
You're listening to Radio August.
I understood
Dark
nothing of that
Nights
story.
with Poe and Monroe.
The Calling. Read by Jessa from the Jessa channel.
The what?
I love you, she said. Then she cut off her face in front of me. It took a lot of effort with the butter knife, alternately plunging and trying to saw. A curtain of blood ripped under her chin. It caught her still smiling mouth as part of her head tipped forward and free. I expected to see a dripping cross-section of frontal lobe, nasal cavities, and sinuses, but her head was completely empty, a black void. I stared into the hole. It spoke. Your body is nothing more than a prison for your consciousness. Your wardens have long since forgotten you. Free yourself. When I used the knife, it hurt, and I passed out.
What?
Perhaps I was the messenger. Yes, I understand now. I'm the messenger. It is the others I must set free.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Night.
I'm listening
with
to a bunch
Poe
of shit.
And Monroe.
Contagion by Ashley Van Hesteren. Read by Adam Day. The demon really did spread like a virus. Easier, probably. A virus needs contact. Shared air, a passing germ, a gentle touch. But this monster was not that limited. All this needed was an audience to be infectious. And it's so easy here. There's so much theatricality surrounding this demon, this ghost of a phenomenon, so much ritual, so much awful curiosity. It made infecting one after another as easy as walking down the street past the tree, past the bridge, past the nearly empty house, the field of stones. It started with one, the first domino to be pushed down. She was young. They usually are. They're easier to infect young. They listen. It took time for her fall, but the demon knew. Sooner or later she would, and there would be a tidal wave to feast upon, and this demon was nothing if not patient, ever present.
What are you
Until the
talking
virus
about?
got her, until the sickness spread, the demon could only enjoy that girl trapped in his teeth, prepare for the moment, the tipping point when she would finally cut her strings and fly. There was a process to this. The young, susceptible, high-risk groups already have a home for the demon in their heart. Most people do anyway. A hollow home for the whispers to rest, implant, and grow the demon. The demon would grow stronger, too big for its stolen place, pushing lungs out of the way until breathing hurts. He whispers in the heart of his host until there would be nothing left, and only the fall could quiet him, and he could infect someone else. That girl, that first girl, she was no different. She was nearly there already without the demon's whispers. There was so little light left to feast on in her world, in her every moment of calm, every smile, every restful night. He tainted all of it. There was nothing left.
I'm
Now it was
understanding
just a
nothing.
waiting game, until she got to her lonely, nearly empty home every night, night after night. When she finally had enough of the burning in her chest, the weight on her shoulders, the pain from the demon's whispers around her hollowed out heart, he gave her a moment of peace. She made her decision, and the resolve soothed the scratches in her throat. She tried to reach out in that subtle human way. Of course she did. That's just nature. She knew where this sickness was going as easily as she could see the light at the end, and she was afraid as much as calm. "Take my ring," she'd say. "I know I love it, but I don't need it anymore. When I'm gone, Mom will take care of my cat. No one will miss me anyway." No one heard her. They never do. All humans don't want to die, but more than that, humans don't want to be in pain. So she succumbed to the sickness, or tried at least. Girls almost never get it right on the first try. Her red hair fanned out around her pillow as she laid back, holding the bottle above her, note on the pillow beside her, her
Suicide?
final bedfellow. "Pills don't hurt, right?" She'd been like this that day, rationalizing to the demon parasite in her heart. "Of course they don't. You'll sleep, and it'll be over. What's it matter anyway?" "Yeah," and the bottle opened in her hands. "It'll be over. It'll be over. No longer a burden. No more pain. No more. No more." But of course there was more. Pills don't work very well. She'd only gotten sick, was taken to the hospital before the pills tore apart her liver. The doctors, the ones who cared enough to see the signs, helped her, or tried at least. And the demon was quieted for a while, until he wasn't. More time, and the girl tried again. Nothing got better for her. She tried again, rewrote the note, redid the demon's ritual, just different enough to work this time. The virus ready to spread. The blood stained the porcelain and he relished in it. The pain let go, finally, and that fed him too. She was dead. The demon had outgrown his host, gotten too big for her poor soul to bear, tore her apart and bled out with her, her true final bedfellow. But the virus wasn't quite spreading yet. That death alone couldn't start the contagion. It needed an audience. And they made it so easy. They paraded her face on posters, told her tragic story, painted the town red with her hair and her blood, satiated the awful curiosity of the audience, fed the other demons, gave them a bigger home, a louder voice, and let them spread. A boy this time. Good. They were more successful. After the first domino falls, the rest go quickly. Always. He was a football player. Big, loud, and sure. Good. He wouldn't take long. The demon knew it, and he didn't. The demons are already there. They just need ears to listen. It wasn't hard to make the boy listen after the first bell. No one would go to your funeral. You'd be better off. So would your father and sister. There was nothing here. A little lying goes a long way after the virus starts to spread. He only needed to write one letter. Only needed to walk to the bridge once. Stare over the river's flow with an empty kind of longing once. Like needing to go home after a long day of pain, finding the water below like you'd find the bed sheets at night. He was dead. The demon had outgrown his host, gotten too big for this poor soul to bear, tore him apart and drowned with him, tangled together in the water. They didn't make it as easy with that boy. They listened to the psychologists, but it was already too late. The demon didn't need each other. After the first domino was knocked to the dirt, the next was another boy, slight for his age, light enough to not snap the tree branch or his trachea. The note they found in his room led them down the street, past the bridge, past the empty house, to the forest. He was long dead when they found him. The demon had outgrown his host again, gotten too big for his poor heart to bear, tore him apart and choked with him, draped from the branches like flower pots hanging from a funeral home ceiling. And yet more dominoes fell, landing at the heads of graves in the field of stones. Unstoppable, relentless waves eroding the people on shore until only the sand remained. The demon always spread like a virus from person to person, with no touch, no shared germ, no shared air, just an audience full of awful curiosity.
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop.
Like, is
So,
it
what do we have
true
here?
what they said about
Well,
girls never
This
never
is
succeed
certainly
first time?
interesting. This, I would say you have to hold with two hands. And so I'd say it's heavy because it's made out of metal.
Mhm.
And also there's some color on there as well. I think it's like a green. It's like green paint with some engraving on it.
Yes, what kind of situation or scene do we have depicted there? What do you think?
Well, what I think I can see is perhaps two people in combat.
Could be combat.
Maybe they're hugging.
It's funny that you mentioned combat first, because most people actually think this is an erotic scene. And then the second point you made was that it might be people hugging, but most people think it shows an erotic scene. This is one of many painted leaden plates from the Khazars, and as such, it's over 1,000 years old. And it's not an erotic scene. It's not people hugging. It's not combat. It's actually a man grabbing the heart of a woman directly from her chest.
He sounds great.
Yeah, what a nice guy. It was a practice that was
And
thought
it
of as
sounds like a
surgery
fight.
at the time, but it never really ended well. Yeah. That's kind of quite a literal broken heart. Let me see.
I can imagine.
Poe's Curiosity Shop is now closed.
Dreams
And nightmares.
with Poe and Monroe. So, we have Gabby's dream. So, Gabby said that she's grocery shopping, and when she finally gets to the checkout, there's a huge queue. Now, when she gets to the cashier,
The
she realizes she's
nightmare.
left her money at home. And then the cashier makes her put everything back on the shelves, but it never ends. And every time she comes back to the cart, it seems more full than before. Wow. I do like dreams like this, Poe. Please tell me what you think about this one.
Yeah, so again, there's someone stuck in a loop. I find that always interesting. So it's an unresolved issue.
Very good.
That's something you could say about most dreams that are recurring dreams.
Of course.
There's an unresolved issue here, but it's related to shopping, and I'm wondering what the shopping stands for. Whether it's probably not literal. I mean, as you know, Monroe, you've interpreted so many dreams. She made her put everything back on the shelves. So it's almost someone puts a lot of effort into something, but they don't get redeemed for it. They have to put everything back the way it was.
You know what, Poe? I think you might need a promotion.
to deputy dream interpreter.
I mean, keep going the way you're going, and I might be out of a job.
Oh, we need you, Alice.
Well, so what I can tell you is shopping relates to needs and desires. So, Gabby, what you're having dreams about here, so it's your grocery shopping. So that in particular is a physical need for life. So what we're
For a
also
wife.
dealing with here is the loss of money. What you'll often find with dreams is that the loss of money actually relates to a loss of self-identity. So Poe was very close with what he was saying, because the impression that I get from this dream and from your explanation of this dream is that perhaps, Gabby, you might always be giving more to other people than you receive. A relationship, perhaps, where you feel that others see you as someone else's significant other rather than actually
What?
having your own identity as yourself. Now, for me personally, I believe that every relationship that you have with someone should be equal, and you should be loved for who you are. And maybe that is something that perhaps, Gabby, you might have to challenge in your life. What do you think, Poe?
That's some wonderful advice, Alice, and I think it's a lot of food for thought for this listener, and I hope she takes some wonderful lessons from it.
Thank you for your dreams.
Well,
You're
they just
listening
seemed a
to
bunch of
Radio
bullshit.
August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
The Calling. Read by Jessa from the Jessa channel.
The what?
I love you, she said. Then she cut off her face in front of me. It took a lot of effort with the butter knife.
Okay.
Alternately
All right,
plunging
it's
and
repeating itself.
trying to saw.
Whew, man. I don't know if there was a hint in any of those radio things, but yeah. Alright, big bed. Looks comfy enough. Shifting locked.
Free yourself. When I used the knife, it hurt. And I passed out.
Is it Chief?
Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector DuPont. I wasn't sure
Hello.
you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs?
Hold on. Palm. So you booked room for Sam.
Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam. That's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw. 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. That's the tarot readers.
Alright. Oh my god. Dorota Shaw. So, murder victim. We know that she was 21 years old and strangled. Now, knows the culprits.
Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up.
Predicted murder. Prime suspect of DuPont.
It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs. To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously.
Okay.
Because things, I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you. Do I have to spell it out?
Yes.
I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork.
Problem.
Our old town. The problem. Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it.
Ooh.
What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard.
Like
It
musician?
was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself.
Hold on. Musician.
Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th, at approximately 9 p.m., according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m.
Fuck. Can I please? Oh man, I wish I could go back. Because, like, they talk way too fast.
In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a
Okay.
gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know.
Should reveal the killer.
Board here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady.
Miss
Where are
Violet.
you going with this, Sam? What's she told you? She told you she's taking pills, didn't she?
What?
Let me handle Violet. She didn't kill anyone. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating?
And we'll be back tomorrow. Poe's Curiosity Shop is now
All right.
closed.
Decker!
Welcome to Poe's
Is that a
Curiosity
reference?
Shop.
Alright, guys.
Okay, Alice, this is what I brought in today. What do you think it is?
Okay, cool. I prefer it like this. Okay, guys. This will be it for today's episode. I will be visiting Bronwyn first, and then go from there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.